Hi folks, and welcome back to another fly tying tutorial. Now if you're of a certain age, you'll certainly recognise this fly. It's an Ace of Spades from back in the day. So without further ado, let's get into it. The hook in the vise is a Hanak H950 barbless hook at size 8. It's on a heavy wire and it's finished in black nickel. The thread I'm going to be using today is from Simplify. You can't see the label because of my bobbin, but it's a Sumo thread in black at 30 denier. Now, as always with these black nickel hooks and the thread, I'm going to just get a touch of super glue onto the shank before I come in and spread it up and down, and then I can get a bed of thread down onto the shank. Now, I've kind of been reliving the flies of my youth, if you like. They're no longer in my fly boxes, these things, but they are what I would probably say is modern classics. And the Ace of Spades is just that such fly. Now, those of you of a certain age will remember this fly very well because it was very popular back in the late 80s and early 90s. Now, I've not got it quite right because for the life of me I can't find my natural guinea fowl cape, so I've used the blue feather, as you'll see later on in the video. Now, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to catch in my wire rib. Now I'm going to catch it in through the entire length. Just in loose turns, like so, and then I'm going to catch in some thicker silver foil, and I'll catch that in again, although it's not really required, it's not very thick this, but I will catch it in mostly the entire end. Now, with the Ace of Spades there is quite a lot goes on at the front of the hook, which means you're going to have a lot of bulk in the head. It's going to be a large headed fly, but we don't need to worry about that so much nowadays. Back in the day when and I used to tie these because they're quite an easy tie, and it was within my skill set, but you would be using things like uni thread at 6/0, and so the heads would be huge on these. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is tie in a chenille body. Now, the chenilles we get nowadays are much more streamlined and thin. Back in the day, the chenilles were much tougher to tie with because they were. As you can see, I've stripped away some of the chenille and left just the core exposed, and I want to catch that in. So I'll just catch that in along the shank. So we've already got quite a lot of materials caught in here, and I'll just put that over the side, and then I can tidy up. Now, as I'm tidying up, what I want to do is just add a little bit of wax to my nano silk, just to help the materials stay where they should stay. And then I'm going to leave plenty of room at the front. As I said, there's going to be quite a lot going on at the front of the fly. So why have I not got these in my box anymore? Well, simply put, there's quicker flies to tie, and they're just as effective. I suppose what's replaced the Ace of Spades? Now, one thing, it's obviously, very obviously, not a competition sort of fly, and the bulk of my fly tying box is full of flies tied for competition in mind. But in recent years, more and more actually, I've been tying much bigger flies, snakes and lures, or streamers as they're known elsewhere. But so I don't really have these kind of flies in my comp boxes anymore, but maybe they'll make a revival, who knows. I dare say they've not stopped working, that's for sure. You know, I'm sure there's some boys that age with me who still have great success on flies like the Ace of Spades and the Viva. I'll get that chenille tied in, and then I'll just remove the waste. So I'll just put this to the side. And I'm going to tidy up the front bit here a bit. Okay, so far so good. Next thing then, we're going to bring our silver wire. It's been a lot of years since I've tied this fly actually. It's given me nostalgia vibes. So I'll probably get around 4 turns of this thicker, well 3 turns, you'll see 4 but I see 3 on my side, the thicker silver wire. I'll probably get away with something a little thinner, but I had this at hand, so I've grabbed that on and tidied that up. Let's just have a check. Your side, yeah, 4. I thought it would be. Okay, so next thing then, I'm going to get my cape. I've got a whitings cape here. It's lovely. It's a hen cape. This now, some people might say, "Oh, you should be using cock feathers." Well, you can't. I think the original dressing did call for cock feathers, but I think you get a lot more movement from hen feathers. Now, I've already prepared the hackles. You need 2 hackles for this fly, and I've got similar, not exactly the same, but they're very similar, and they're kind of twice the length of the hook shank. So I'm going to come in and just get that into place with a couple of turns, and then on your side I'll do likewise. Like so. And put that into place. Now at the moment I've still got my 2 little stalks here, and I'm not going to do anything with these until I've brought the rib up through these feathers. Now the idea is that this is creating your tail, and what I want to do is grab my wire rib that I tied in at the very start, try and line up your feathers like so, and then what I'm going to do is just with my fingers pull them fibres back so that I can wind. And this bit's the start's really important, so take your time and get that into place so your tail sits correctly. And once you've got that in place, you can, again, it's just misbehaving a little. I'm going to grab my needle, just make a little space for that first turn. Once you've got the first turn, then it tends to be a lot easier. Well, let's get that into place. There we go. And then I can simply work my way up the fly. I'm working them fibres with my fingers as best I can, just to keep them spread out. I'm trying not to catch the fibres in with my wire rib here. So I'm just taking some pains to make sure that's right. And you know, as I'm tying this fly, I'm thinking there's a good reason I don't have them in my box anymore. They're a pain in the backside, but you can't argue with their effectiveness. I'll get a couple of turns in front of the wire, hold on my thread bobbin, and I will pull that away. Now I'm just going to come in with my wire brush, separate out the fibres there. I suppose looking at the fly now, actually, it does remind me a lot of an overcomplicated woolly bugger, if I'm honest. So, there we go. So now I've got my wire rib in place, I can come in with my scissors, take away them two stalks, like so. Now the next thing, I'm going to tie in my throat hackle. So what I've got is some blue guinea fowl. I don't have any of the natural, which is what the pattern really calls for, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. If you're part of the fly tying police, please do let me know you're not happy in the comments section. So I'm just stripping a few fibres from the stem of the fly. I think blue always goes well with black, and I had red and I had various colours, and I have got a guinea fowl cape, I've just no idea where it is. So I'm going to grab that in. I'll just get a little pinch and loop into place, like so. Excuse my fingers while I take away the excess. Couple of wraps to tidy that up, and I can live with that. Okay, so the last part then is the overwing, and what I've got here is some bronze mallard. You're looking really for the darker feathers for this, and I've picked this one here, and what I want to do with this is I'm going to fold it in half, a bit like you would with a dabbler, just to get it a little bit thicker than it should be. Just get it all straightened out, and then I'm going to come in, show it up to the fly, just get the right sort of length, and I want just 3/4 of the shank with this. And once I've got that sitting where I want, I'll just get a pinch and loop to hold it up, and that looks okay to me. It's not so good on your side actually, so I'm going to just come back with a couple of wraps, roll it more towards you, and then I'll check it again. Yeah, that's a little better. Not great, mind, but a little better. And then I can lock that into place. I'm going to lift my waist up and trim away. Now, as I said at the start, the front of the fly is quite head heavy, and it's because you're tying in this throat hackle, your wire and your overwing here. But the good thing is with the modern threads, the nano silks and stuff, and I'm using the sumo thread here, you can get quite a lot of wraps to tidy that head up, and it will not look too bad. Then with my whip finish tool, I can come in and finish it off, 3-turn whip finish. Now, how would you fish this? Well, back in the day I would fish it mostly on an intermediate line, if I'm honest, and I would pull for all I was worth, and this would be on the point of a 3 or 4 fly cast, or even on its own actually. can recall just tying one on when I was being lazy and just fishing away with it. I don't think, after sitting down and tying this, and I have only tied one. This is what you're seeing is the one, my one nod to the Ace of Spades. I don't think I'll be tying many more. There's just better flies out there, if I'm honest. But as a tying exercise, you're getting to use lots of different techniques, and it's a nice little challenge. And it was nice to take a trip down memory lane with, I'll not call it the Ace of Spades because I might end up getting arrested by the fly tying police, so we'll call it an Ace of Spades variation and be done with it. But there we go. Thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please do remember to give it a like, and I'll see you all in the next one.